So, against the advice of literally every human being I know, today I'm going to tell the story about how I went from being a happily married dad of 3 to a divorced, broke, single dad who lives with his mom. Strap in, I might get emotional, it might be a lot of edits, but it might be entertaining, so here we go.
Sheesh.
So a little backstory, I was married to this young lady, debating if I should say her name or not. I don't know. I'm not gonna say her name.
Say her name.
Like, if you know me, you know her name. But I was married for a long time, 10 years, 9 years, and my ex-spouse was in the military, the Navy specifically. So, you know, as a spouse, you kind of just follow them around wherever they get stationed or whatever, but the longer time you're in, the more kind of choice you have on where you go. Well, anyway, her last duty station, well, where this story is going to mostly take place, was in Japan. Now, if you know me, you know I fucking love Japanese culture. I'm like big anime fan, I love fucking swords and shit, and I'm a fucking boy from Chicago. I ain't never really been nowhere, so I was really excited to go to Japan. Like, really excited. Now, there's gonna be like a lot of stuff that I leave out because like 10 minutes is not a long time to get this whole thing off, and nobody really wants to listen to 10 minutes, but just bear with me. So we get there and I'm head over heels. Like, it's so much cool shit happening, like all of these cool temples, and the people there were really cool. It just was like really cool for me personally, but my relationship was not in a good place. So fast forward, it's our anniversary, and you know, we go out, we have a pretty good day. And towards the end of it, we're at dinner and we get into this massive argument. It's just a huge argument, and it ends with her saying that, you know, she thinks we need some time. So I say, okay, cool, like, you need time, that's fine. Like, I mean, we're in Japan, so like, I don't really know how that works. And she says, well, I just don't feel like we should be around each other at this moment. I'm gonna stay at a friend's house while you stay at our house. So, okay.
For starters, I know this is just the beginning of this, right? And this guy, he's a military spouse. And let's just put it like that, because when we think of spouse, we always think of women. But he's a military spouse. Obviously, he followed his old lady over to Japan. And I'm just gonna say it, he's missing a lot of stuff. He's not saying a lot of stuff that what he could have been doing. He's just saying all of a sudden, she just says we get into this argument on our anniversary and she needs space. And she's gonna stay at her friend's house, and you're gonna leave him on whatever. So at this point, this woman's probably through with you. She's probably telling her problems to other women, tell their problems to other people anyway, whether it be men or women, work husband, whatever. But yeah, if she's willing to move out and stay with somebody, she has no problem just up and leaving you. Or what I thought you was gonna say is send your ass back to the States. But hey, let's see where this goes.
I'm at this point, we've been through so much. I'm just trying to like get things back to normal. So I go, all right, that's fine. You can stay at our friend's house. You know, whenever you're ready to talk, just come by. So a few days go by. We barely speak to each other, except for like to see the kids or exchange the kids. She comes and picks them up, or she drops them off to me or whatever, but we don't really talk. Then one night, I have our kids with us, and she's staying over at the friend's house, and I'm just laying in bed, and I'm like feeling really bad because like I've been missing her. I'm trying to figure out what I can do to fix it. So I decided to go over to the friend's house, middle of the night, while the kids are asleep. Now, this friend's house, if you know anything about like military installations, like housing is like a bunch of towers and they're close by. So the friend's house was the tower across the street. So kids are asleep, I set up the little monitor, I go to across the street, and mind you, it's midnight, so I'm thinking everybody's gonna be asleep, but from outside I can see that the master bedroom light is on. So I'm like, oh, okay, well, it's kind of late, but I mean, they adults, so I guess somebody would be awake. I go to the door and I go to put the code in to go into the door, and the code doesn't work. So I knock, nobody comes. I knock again, nobody comes. I start banging on the door. Eventually she comes to the door. Now when she comes to the door, I just see in her face that she's like, what are you doing here? So I immediately just move past her. I walk in the house, and all the lights in the front are off, but the back room, the master, that light is on. So I walk directly back there. I look in the room, but nobody's in the room. So I walk back to her and I ask, where's the friend? If you can't tell by now, the friend's a man. It was.
You knew this is your wifey for lifey. You guys have kids. You know that she's going to stay with a friend who's a man, which I guess you left out before. And the fact that she answered the door, or even you put a code in, I'm not familiar with this whole code thing, why you would have a code to be able to get in somewhere anyway. But, bro, it's obvious that she's going to stay with a man. He's clapping the cheeks. I don't know. It doesn't take a rocket scientist to figure this out, folks. Like, bro, you're taking care of the kids while she's living her best life. But a lot of you dudes, you try to make up stuff in your mind. If she's across the street, why isn't your wife staying with you and the kids? Y'all let these women, and that's how things are now. Y'all let these women get away with far too much now. I'm just saying, man. Let's go, though.
Was actually her co-worker, but I'll get to that part a little bit later. So she's like trying to stay calm. I'm asking, where is he at? I don't see him. I go in the other room, the kids' room, his kids' room, and he's laying in the middle of the bed while his two kids are asleep. So I politely tap him on his leg. Hey, bro, get up. Follow me. So, now the situation is kind of set where I know something is happening, and it's just about figuring out how the rest of the night's going to end. Oh, am I shaking? Trauma. So I get to pressing both of them and trying to get them to admit what they're doing. And as they are denying it, I feel myself getting angrier and angrier. And mind you, I'm a pretty big guy. I'm 6'4", 210 pounds. This guy, he's smaller than me. Just generally smaller than me. So he's pretty scared, which he should be. I was not happy. And after kind of cornering him, my ex-spouse admits that they were in a relationship. They were having a relationship with each other. And I kind of started freaking the fuck out, but then I remembered I was in Japan, bro, and if I ain't go to jail in Chicago, I'm definitely not getting locked up in no foreign prison, bro. That's just not gonna happen. So I did the one thing I could think of, and I called my mom right there. I called my mom and I said, tell my mom what you just told me. And she told my mom, and by the grace of God, I have like a great mother because she immediately told me to leave. Then
I know there's a lot missing from this, guys, but this is a no-brainer, bro. Like, the girl's cheating on you. If she went to stay with a dude, she told you, obviously, she told you she was staying with a guy. Obviously, this guy's clapping the cheeks. And you the main one. You're gonna call the mom and put her on the spot and tell my mom what you told me that you sleeping with this guy. Bro, what did he say? He's 6'4", 2 something. Bro, what are you doing? Like, and especially if you're not working. You didn't say you had a job. She's taking care of you and the kids. She need military women are just on a different type of time. Women in general, but a woman in the military is like, I'm taking care of this dude. She's gonna resent you, bro. So you don't really have a leg to stand on, man. This is crazy. My man's clapping it up while you over there taking care of the kids, and she's taking care of his kids. Say less.
didn't even mince words. Ion, you need to leave now. And I heard in her tone that she was probably right, and I just numbly followed her advice and walked home. And yeah, that's how I found out that my wife at the time had been cheating on me for weeks with some dude I thought might have been gay, but wasn't gay. But it was a little effeminate to me, but a guy that I thought was a friend. There's a lot of detail I'm leaving out, but I just realized that I'm already at the 8.5 minute mark, so shit, I guess ask questions for a part 2. I mean, that was 2 years ago. The shit that has happened in between then and now is even crazier, so enjoy.
Yo, that's quite the face that good buddy is making right there. And I'll link his information for you guys to check out the rest of his story. But you thought he was gay just because he's gay. You think a gay dude won't clap your old lady's cheeks? My man, you're sadly mistaken. You are sadly mistaken. Women love gay dudes, first of all. Women don't have a problem because they're curious. They're naturally curious. Women won't have a problem sleeping with a gay dude. A gay dude disarms them, but a gay dude, just like a regular man, gets a hard on. Let me know what you guys think about this video. Comment below. Like, share, comment, and subscribe. Much blessings and abundance. Stick around for the next videos. It's going to pop up on the screen below. That's where I'm going to see you guys at. Listen, it's your favorite everything. This is wisdom. Let's run it up to 1 million. I'm the best. Quit playing with me. Peace.